welcome all to Amir Shakur Speaks with your host Amir King 7 Shakur. That's gonna be me. Wow. Welcome to the Friday night. Hey, everybody, welcome to Friday night. Yay, we made it to the weekend, right? I love it. 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 And just a little bit of repositioning real quick. Tonight we're going to be talking a little bit about Mr. Jimmy Kimmel. We got some more really great topics, so just hang on in there with me. And going to be talking a little bit about Miss Assata Shakur. We're going to talk about our favorite op, Mr. Jedediah Brown, and we'll have some more topics coming up. So I just want to go ahead and welcome you guys to, again, Amir Shakur Speaks. And hey, out there in internet world, in chat room, got Javar Ellis, the Midwest Dragon. What's up, Javar? Status quo, our secret super agent and our superhero, complete with the Batman tights and the Batman boots, right? You know, you're a Batman from the Adam West days, right? The coolest Batman. All right, Miss Beth McBride. Hey, Beth, how you doing? All right. Got it. You guys, just wanted to, again, just welcome you guys and have a little good time. We're going to be very short and very brief, but y'all know how we do it. Hello, again, friends, to Amir Shakur Speaks with your host, that'll be me. Today, we're opening up the show on a positive note. Hopefully my sound is coming in. You know, I might have to fire the producers. Oh, I don't have no producers. So today we just wanted to talk a little bit about what's going on, the end of the week recap, and you know how we do. We're bringing the best of faith, politics, and news, all done from an urban, inspirational perspective. Today our show is sponsored by Block America World News, the Chicago Urban Daily, and our newly formed Sum 7 Broadcast Network. So I need you guys to follow the Sum 7 Broadcast Network. And if you're an influencer, this is the good news, that we can give you a voice. If you're interested in a show, we can help you with your branding. We can help you from scratch. So I'll be sharing some information about that and going forward in the days ahead because, you know, we just think that there's a lot of talent out there and people who don't have a voice, who can have a voice. And, you know, that's what it is. So, y'all know how we do. If you haven't been on the show, or if you haven't been in the influencer world, you know, hey, you know, a lot of unchecked talent out there, and you know, I think you guys can do it. You know, so hey, Amir, Tracy, how you doing? Good to see you, and welcome. So listen, I definitely want to get to everything from a national to local to everything that's going on by the end of the week, and yeah, we're gonna have some fun. So let's start off with our good friend, host Jimmy Kimmel. So yeah, everybody, Mr. Kimmel is back. Mr. Kimmel's back, and no, I think that for me, I think it's not only just a win-win situation, but it's definitely an effort that is well warranted. And you know, Jimmy had a rough patch at it. So you know what we're seeing from all that I can tell is just the return. It's just a triumphant return, and his first show back. I don't know if you guys had a chance to catch the monologue, but I think the numbers were somewhere like in 65 million. 65 million is a great thing. And the latest updates is that he wasn't back in all markets because one of the show production companies, I should say, which was Sinclair, the company that previously owned some of the show and was in connection with ABC affiliates in producing the show, which included markets in Seattle, Oregon, Washington, D.C., obviously, where Mr. Trump is president and his administration. And basically it wasn't back in those markets. So the good news is that as of today, Nexstar and Sinclair signaled that it was open to the responsibility of returning all of his shows. So Jimmy is back on the air everywhere. So you know what? I think it's a good day for free speech. Free speech won today. I think it's a good day for civil liberties. I think it's a good day for just for American, those of us who, we don't like people telling us what to do, what to say, and how to say it. And it's really what's keeping us free and clear. We don't want to see a mix of politics, and we don't want to see a mix of not even political, but just the chaos. We look at people like Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon and, some of the pundits. We want to see these guys, these political, or excuse me, not political, these talk show hosts. We want to see them in a sphere of, relief. And they give us a certain aspect of things sometimes that, not only is it comedy or refreshing, but we can learn from it. So, for those who don't know about the chaos, I should say, for lack of a better use of the word, the federal FCC chairman, and with a lot of swaying from Mr. Trump, ended the show, and the show ended for roughly less than a week, the end of last week, and because of multi-millions and trillions of fans and people around, the show was actually re-put back into circulation after being preempted. And again, Nexstar signaled that it was opening the possibility, actually not even opening the possibility. Nexstar was saying that it was going to bring the show back in all the markets. So, I like Kimmel. I like what he does. I like what he has to say, and I love his monologues. We're gonna look at that a little bit more, and then we're gonna get to some more things. But I just think that it's very, very important that we continue to drill that down. And thank you, Mr. Kimmel. Thank you, Mr. Kimmel, your brave standpoint. And the monologue, if you didn't get a chance to see it, Kimmel was brave, to say the least. So let's see if I can just blow up a little bit of the monologue, and then some of the backflow of it. And I am going to try to do that right now. The other thing that I want you guys to kind of pay attention to is I think that the Trump administration is still not done with the shenanigans. So hopefully they are, but hey, I like this statement, keep hope alive. So let me just show a little bit about that, and then guys out there who are joining us, if you guys have any questions, comments, feel free to chime in, but let me just pull it up a little bit. Okay? All right, so this is Kimmel is back, y'all. So let's look at that, and we'll take it from there.
In for a monologue that will be a marker in late night show history.
It's going to be in a moment.
Yeah, no question. A huge moment in American history.
It's one of the most pivotal moments in broadcast history.
He will be delivering what is being dubbed the most anticipated monologue in late night in years.
Revolution. Change? Yeah.
From Hollywood, it's Jimmy Kimmel Live. Tonight, Glenn Powell and music from Sarah McLachlan with Cleto and the Cletones. And now, Jimmy Kimmel.
Anyway, as I was saying before I was interrupted,
If you're just joining us, we are preempting your regularly scheduled encore episode of Celebrity Family Feud to bring you this special report. I'm happy to be here tonight with you. I'm not sure who had a weirder 48 hours, me or the CEO of Tylenol. It's been overwhelming. I've heard from a lot of people over the last 6 days. I've heard from all the people in the world over the last 6 days. Everyone I have ever met has reached out 10 or 11 times. Weird characters from my past are the guy who fired me from my first radio job in Seattle, where we are not airing tonight, by the way. Sorry, Seattle. His name is Larry. In 1989, Larry tried to force me to do a bit called Jokes for Donuts, where people would call in with a joke and I would give them donuts. I refused to do it, and then I made a lot of fun of Larry for suggesting it, and eventually Larry fired me, and I had to move back in with my parents. But even he wrote in to cheer me up. Thank you, Larry, and I want to thank everyone who checked in. It would take all week to list all of them, but some that I do especially want to mention are my fellow late night talk show hosts, my friend Stephen Colbert, who's found himself in this predicament, my friends Jon Stewart, Seth Meyers, Jimmy Fallon, John Oliver, Conan O'Brien, James Corden, Arsenio, Kathy, Wanda, Chelsea, even Jay reached out. I heard from late night hosts in other countries, from Ireland and from Germany. The guy in Germany offered me a job. Can you imagine? This country has become so authoritarian. The Germans are like, come here. Come loose. My boyhood idols, Howard Stern and David Letterman, were very considerate and kind, and I feel honored to be part of a group of people that knows what goes into doing a show like this. And I also want to thank all of you. Thanks to
So there it is, y'all. So there it is. A little bit about Mr. Kimmel and his monologue. And yeah, what were your thoughts about it? You know, I really wanted to share a little bit more about it. But I think that, you know, with Jimmy, and again, it's a win for free speech. And if you can just go ahead and get on YouTube and check out his monologue, I think you guys would enjoy it. And you know, he really went in on Mr. Trump really, really well. And I definitely wanted to show a little bit more, but I definitely want to get back. So, you know, hey, you know what I say? I say free speech won. You know, what do you guys think? Let's see. Let's go to Status. Status saying it's obviously political. Yeah. There you go. The freedom of creativity. Yes, we need freedom of creativity. And you know, your thoughts matter. So if you want to share your thoughts, I would definitely appreciate that. And yeah, he mentioned Tylenol, and yeah, I mean the monologue is definitely what we expect, and we know from Mr. Kimmel. So you know, again, I'm definitely glad that he's back, and yeah, he looked happy. If you did watch the speech, if you haven't gone back and watched the monologue, I should say, you know, you guys know that he's definitely a witty person, and definitely someone who we can depend upon to really bring a different aspect of, you know, not just late night, but just a refreshing thing. So we want Mr. Kimmel to stay back. So kudos to Jimmy, and you know, we definitely are looking forward to having him. So and seeing what he can do in the near future. So, again, I just wanted to take a little time and we can move on. But what do you guys think? Was it a win for free speech? Let's see. What did you have to say, Tracy? George Carlin, Richard Pryor, Lenny Bruce. Oh my goodness. Okay, yeah, definitely. Those guys are smiling from heaven. Okay. Yeah, we could probably say Red Fox, and we could go down the line. There's a lot of comedians who, basically, won, just in the aspect of historically what they do. So, I mean, I'm definitely with what you're saying, Tracy, and thank you for that. And, George Carlin used his free speech. Yeah. So, I mean, and here's the other thing that that I wanted to say about it. The same day that the Trump federal FCC pulled the broadcaster from airing the show, it's definitely something that if they're going to continue to preamp, I think that CBS was talking about NBC was Jimmy Fallon. I mean, it has to stop. So if they're going to do any more of that, I think that it's going to likely result in the same pressure. And, Disney announced that return this week. And again, 65 million. His average show does 2 million listeners, but 65 million listeners tuned in to that. So, 65 million, I mean, that's amazing. And, like I said, his monologue was emotional, but, he did say that it was never my intention, this is a quote, it was never my intention to make light of the murder of that young man. I don't think that there's anything funny about it. I posted a message on Instagram the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and meant it, and I still do. So, hooray. And then Tracy said Muhammad Ali. Okay. You guys out there using your brain juice. Okay, I like that. So as we're moving on, again, I just want to welcome everybody and those who are out there in the YouTuber sphere and everyone who's going to watch the show. I just want to say that I appreciate you guys, and my numbers are growing. So, if you haven't supported Amir Shakur Speaks, please support it, and I think that we can one day look forward to maybe me having 65 million people, but for now, we'll do the best we can with the dedicated group of great folks like you guys got. So yes, 65 million is significant, Beth, especially when he literally hosts 2 million on the average, and that's his viewership. So, oh, brother, look at the troublemaker, and minion the God, minion opinion. You're gonna have to come on, man. You're gonna have to come on. You're gonna have to talk about our favorite op. And so hopefully you can stick around. If you don't want to, I get it. You can stay in the chat world, but brother, you did a great job yesterday. Everybody welcome a minion with an opinion. And hey, you know what? I appreciate you. I was proud of what you did. So, we will be addressing that gentleman that everyone knows, and I won't even say loves, because we're not going to say that we love that individual, but we will say that he's definitely somebody who's thought of, to say the least. So we'll be addressing that in a real short time frame. So if anybody wants to join, I put the information in the chat, and minion, come on, brother, come on, put that do-rag on that head of yours, and let's go, baby. Yeah, you can say off camera if you want. You don't have to do it, but everybody loves you, man. So hopefully you can. It's going to be a real brief show tonight. So as I'm moving on, or anyone else who wants to join, you is welcome. We're just going over some of the weekly events tonight. So, no stress. So thank you again for those who have joined. And this is the end of the week recap. So we're just doing that. On a sad note, ouch. On a sad note, Miss Assata Shakur, no relation to me. I'm formerly Greg Greer, but now I live in infamy, will live in infamy legally as Amir Shakur. And yes. And Asanta, I should say, got to be correct with it, has passed away. And those of us who know Asanta, they know from the liberation world, she is the Black Liberation Army member and former fugitive, who had a $2 million bounty on her head. And a lot of people know her as Tupac Shakur's godmother. So, Asanta was somebody who's been well thought of. She passed away, I think, today or the wee hours of the late yesterday. So I think I saw the announcement first thing this morning. But according to the short announcement, Shakur was also known as Joan Chestermaid, and she died from health ailments in Cuba. She was in exile in Cuba for many years. And she was, again, also the godmother and step-on of slain rapper Tupac Shakur. And she passed away at 78 years old. So definitely a sad note. And she was an outspoken proponent of armed revolution. She was a liberationist. And she was convicted in 1973 for a shootout of a New Jersey Turnpike state trooper. And she went into exile in Cuba shortly thereafter that. The American government never caught up with her. So a lot of people are mourning the loss of Asanta. Just again, it's about liberation. And I don't know a lot about the New Jersey Turnpike state trooper that was killed. I know that there was some question about it, and it's been a debate all of her life about it. I know that several times the American government tried to bring her back from exile, and Shakur was wounded in the exchange of the gunfire, but again, she went into exile, and this happened, roughly in the 70s, right? So she's been in exile in Cuba and living in Cuba all of that time up until the point to where she passed away. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say it really, really briefly. Rest in peace, Assata Shakur, right? So, thank you. So let's go back and Dave, let's see what you got to say about anything. I love seeing a lot of content creators getting together, helping each other out instead of bickering at each other. Dave, you know what? I like that as well. For those who know me, know that I come from a journalist world. I come from the Huffington Post. I started with CNN iReports, and I think you guys can still pull my Huffington Post stuff up. And yeah, I'm definitely with you on a lot of your points, because I think those points are relevant. Hopefully, let me see if I can pull up. Last time I checked, you can still see my old Huffington Post stuff. I'm going to put it there. You guys won't ever want to look at that. I don't know if you ever have, but literally, I was made a journalist by Ariana Huffington from the Huffington Post, and that was after me writing in Daily Kos and CNN. So, to your point, Dave, content creators getting together, helping each other out is what it should be, not the gentleman of the hour, or that we're going to end up talking about a little bit shortly. But it's not about bickering and using this technology to put people down. And that's where folks like me have to draw the line. We don't want to see people breaking people down. I don't think that that's what this technology is used for. And we need to stand together, like Beth was saying. And yeah, we gotta stick together. All in the queue. Look, I got to do it with the neck turn. All in the queue. What's going on? All in the queue. Welcome. We're talking a little bit about the unfortunate passing of Assata Shakur, and and we've talked a little bit about Jimmy Kimmel coming back. Just some of the weekly highlights. So and you guys, if you're out there and you're joining the show, go ahead and say your say. We want to hear your voice. It's weekly highlights, and won't be on. It'll be a brief show, but just want to catch up tonight. So we are again, open to your comments, open to your free speech. This is a free speech zone. As a matter of fact, I appreciate that. I think I'm going to start using that because it is a free speech zone. All right. So, where were we at? Where were we at? So, going back in, we were talking about the unfortunate passing of Assata. And let me see if I can pull up the picture of that. So, yeah, she passed away. And, again, we wish her the best. And, yeah. Let's see what you guys got to say tonight. How you guys doing? Foxy Roxy, let's see. We want to hear from Foxy Roxy. All right. When prayer warriors unite, miracles happen. Tracy, I like what you have to say. You got a little bit of a motivational speaker. Motivational speaker meets inspirational leader type standpoint. And yeah, I like that. Like that. When warriors unite, miracles happen. That's a quote. That's definitely a quote. Look at this. Look at this, guys. Look at this troublemaker here. Look at the troublemaker.
I guess I am a little troublemaker, am I?
Yeah, oh, look at you. I like that background, bro. Howling at the moon. Howling at the moon. What's up with that? I love it, man. I see you trying to, you're trying to do the studio thing. Look at that. You're trying to get like your boy. Okay. I see you.
Okay, yeah, we got the night vibe going on.
I see you, player.
What's up?
Hey, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. I definitely am proud of you, and I definitely was watching in last night, and I can tell you, man, I think that we are making a change in the dynamic. So, and we gotta say that it's a collaborative effort, but I definitely have to give credit where credit is due. And, your information that you were sharing were, first of all, our favorite op didn't say a lot about it. But you did rattle him. Obviously, he was rattled to the core, and it showed. And, the thing that I kind of was waiting on, I think that it's been addressed on a minimal level, but the thing that happened in Atlanta with the homeless shelter and the child, we didn't get enough of that. But I can remember when that was going on, and I was looking for the articles about it, and I couldn't find the articles. So you were able to find that, and yeah, I definitely want you to talk a little bit about that because that's important. That's an important piece because here's my thing, Minion. A lot of people, on the other side of us call this guy a leader, and they call him they look at him, and I still don't understand it. I'm sure you don't understand it. A lot of us don't understand what they see. But when you start seeing things like, I believe that it was a child, and I don't have that. These are allegations, so I had to throw up allegedly. I believe that it was a child in the shelter, is what I was told, but I could be wrong. Can you speak on what your research saw and what that whole situation was that happened in Atlanta when Mr. Brown was a security guard?
Yeah, well, first off, I'm gonna say I understand why people look at him as a leader because he does make a great cult leader. I mean, at the end of the day, a lot of cult leaders do exactly what he's doing. They incite their members to go against the people that, dissent against them. They suck them dry of all their resources, constantly taking money from them. So, I mean, he does make a good leader, a good cult leader. But if we're talking about the thing that happened in Atlanta, I would say the reason why I even brought that up was because it just adds another layer that shows a pattern. Like you said, this guy may or may not have been underage. Regardless of if he was underage, he definitely was underprivileged. He was obviously somebody who was suffering from not having a stable home. He was homeless. So the fact that you would try to take advantage of someone, regardless of the age, it's such a vulnerable time in their lives, that's what you're worried about. You know what I'm saying? That and the fact that this is, like I said, a pattern.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy to believe that it happened. Because he didn't deny it.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first thing. And
He did.
secondly, this is not the first allegation of him doing this with a homeless person.
Mm-hmm.
Martin G, which he never responded to. He
Mm-hmm.
never responded to Martin G. But Martin G even accused this guy of having dudes in the tent, use just going through dudes. He'd been with every pastor, So Martin G made a whole bunch of allegations, and then when you look at his history, he just actually told on himself. He said that whatever that guy, whatever this pastor was, he was really cool with, he opened up, and this was the only pastor out of all the pastors that he had came in contact with who didn't take advantage of him after learning about his sexuality.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, that just further affirms what Martin G said. You've been passed around by all the damn pastors, and hurt people. Predators, I mean, if you've been preyed on, sometimes you become. So, like I said, all the signs point to something being there.
So here is, what I wanted to share, and not, I definitely want to just take a short amount of time, but I do know a lot of the players, even Corey Brooks as a pastor. So Corey was the pastor on the roof, and he raised money from standing on his roof, and he wanted to build a community center. So this is what he's known for. You can Google him. And Tyler Perry actually gave him hundreds of thousands of dollars to build the community center, and that was well known in the Chicagoland community. So Pastor Brooks is an influencer. He's not an older pastor. He's maybe slightly older than our age would be, and in between our age and I'd say he probably has maybe about 4, 5, 6 years on me. So he's really not a seniorly or elderly man or a senior. I believe he's just middle age, like high middle age. And I do know that for a long time Jedediah was connected to him for a small amount of time. I'm sorry. I know that.
From where I've heard about him, I don't know much about him. They say he's a queen.
Well, hey, you know what? If that is the case, I don't.
That's probably the reason why they wouldn't be messing with each other, because they probably like the same thing. But
yeah, I don't think that Corey Brooks, Pastor Brooks, he's been. First of all, he has stability. I don't frequent it. I've been at his church before when I was in the ministry and I was a bishop, and I actually had attended a funeral for a community member, a young girl who was murdered at his church. And I know of him. I know of his political work. And I think that on the spectrum of good, bad, ugly, or indifferent, I know that Pastor Brooks seems to be more consistent. I know he worked for Governor Romner out of Chicago, who was the prior governor before Governor Pritzker, our new governor. And he doesn't seem to be somebody who's had a super negative track record, but something.
Well, he didn't take Jedediah's bait, apparently. I mean,
no, and you picked up on that. And I'm proud of you. You do good research, and you know what? You definitely have a bright future in this. And I mean, even from an influencer, quasi journalist mode. I mean, I think that you try to be as unbiased as possible. I wasn't a fan of the celebrity boxing match thing. I would say that kind of, for me, it wasn't.
Celebrity boxing match?
You remember you were speaking with Jedediah about the celebrity boxing match piece and that sort of thing.
Oh, doing a boxing match?
Yeah, because the reason why I wasn't a fan of that is because I believe that the potential for him to try to change the dynamic on you like he did last night was there, and I had warned you about that, and he actually did what I said he was going to do. And I think that had you really consider coming to Chicago, even at this point, I think that the potential of him changing the dynamic like he did last night would definitely have been possible, very possible. So I know that the concern is not there, but you can't trust people of this nature, and you have to understand that they are, the ops are like him are very dangerous to the extent to whereas I think that they'll do anything to prove a point.
I agree. And, that's the reason why, even if that wasn't the case, I would be prepared for the worst. And that's how I go into any situation. Prepare for the worst, hope for the best.
Yes, and here's the thing. I am proud of your consistency. I'm proud of your effort. I'm proud of your skill set, and I just, I think you have a lot to offer. So I will
appreciate it. You coming along too with your stream
Well, look,
too.
I just shared my Huffington Post stuff, and I mean, like my followers are everywhere. But I had to start all over from scratch with this, So I mean, it's coming. I mean, I'm dwindling. I'm a toddler right now, but in the YouTuber world. But I definitely have some hope because I mean, I have numbers everywhere on social media. I have 20,000 followers on LinkedIn. I had probably 120,000 on my previous YouTube pages, but I did get locked out of those pages, so I had to start all over with Amir Shakur Speaks. And I'm not saying that to say that I'm not crying about it. I mean, I can generate those numbers if I want to. So, this world is very important. It's very important for us to keep our voices out there and continue growing these platforms because, I mean, you look at the Jimmy Kimmel thing, Minion. I mean, when an influencer has more...
I loved that about Jimmy Kimmel. Man. And I've been watching his monologue every night, and he's been consistently hitting the target.
And he hasn't slowed down. But,
no.
When an influencer has more power than the president of the United States. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you said when an influencer has more influence than the actual president of the United States.
What does it say? What does it say? So that gives you and I, guys like you and I, gives us hope, right? You know what I'm saying? It shows us the potential of what really can be done.
I think what's so funny to me is the fact that this reminds me so much of the Tiffany Hinger situation when I think back on Jed's antics. The fact that he's doing the exact same plays that Tiffany. He can't shut up, for one. That's the first thing. Just like she couldn't shut up, he can't shut up. Even though God told him to shut up, he still keeps running his mouth.
Yeah.
Now he's trying to use food giveaways. And the biggest thing is that he uses all of his donations that he gets from everyone else to try to brag and boast like he is such a big person. When he would not be able to, just like Tiffany, she wouldn't be able to do any of the things that she was able to do if it wasn't off of the backs of the taxpayers. Let's be honest. Jedediah, he has nothing if he doesn't have donations and if he doesn't have income from, the social media stuff.
And the thing about, here's my thing, and this is one of the points that we all have to hit on, Jedediah, if he had not gone the wrong way consecutively time and time again, he would be, I think he would be not even an influencer, but he would be kind of a mini Jesse Jackson or mini Al Sharpton.
Jasmine Crockett. I wouldn't.
Jasmine. Oh, you know what? But here's my thing.
The male figures, he definitely gives me more caddy, so I would put him more in that bucket. But
the rough one for me to chew down. I do know that he came from out of Jesse's camp, and I do know that because I mean, some of the meetings back in the day, I was there, and even when he started at the DuSable. He chopped you down for the DuSable, saying the DuSable, mispronouncing the DuSable.
That's just something that when people look at the spelling, they're going to say, DuSable.
If you're not from here, listen, if you're not from Chicago, I get it, So, and the thing about
it's just regular English. If I never seen the word and I'm spelling it and I'm sounding it out, SABLE sounds out sable.
Brother, We not even concerned about
And
his.
it's so funny. No, it's not even that y'all are concerned. The fact of the matter that made it so funny was like his mic drop moment when he was talking about me. Like, he can't even pronounce, dude. It was like, come on, dude. Is that the best that you have? That's what you came up with.
Yeah, that is the best that he has. And you know it. You know it. I would like to show a little bit about your show from last night. So keep talking. I'm gonna pull up a little bit of you guys' interaction, and then that way, because I was just gonna pull up his until you joined me, but I'm gonna pull up both you guys' interaction from last night. And look, if you
from
guys
my page or his page,
from your page.
Oh Lord.
You just want me to do it from his page? You want me to do it from your? What you want, man? Come on now.
I hate looking at myself. I don't know.
Brother, you do listen.
I hate watching and listening to my own voice, so it's just me though.
Yeah. And by the way, while I'm trying to pull this up, tell me about Minion the God, because I'm a 5%er. How did that come about?
No, I would say, if everybody wants to, it really came about inspired from Jedediah calling himself anything that he wants. Hell, the INA team is basically a mock-up of the damn presidential cabinet. He got him, the commander-in-chief, Stephanie Wiedemann, the Secretary of State. He got Keith Price is the border czar. Like, they're just living in their own delusion.
He makes whatever he wants to. You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of like Nazi Germany, man, and how the Nazis had their regime and they rolled out their regime, and it kind of reminds me of that.
And I also kind of feel like this is a moment that, because you can do a lot of stuff with being able to be creative online.
Mm-hmm.
So in a way, we are all kind of like gods. Maybe not God in the sense of
you got
the creator of heaven and earth, God.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? But more like, we all have our own superpowers, right? Like,
but we are gods on earth. Gods on earth,
exactly.
And that's what it's all
and
about.
We all have God power. God lives. We're made up of God. So. I decided to make that name up just to let him know, okay, you could be a commander. Well, I'm going to be a god. Yeah. So, we can all call ourselves things.
Awesome. Let's say this, your stream last night, and I'm going to show that. Before we do that, I just want to get down to some of these comments. And if you guys are just joining this week, myself and Minion with opinion is here, and Minion the God. I
What's
like
good,
that.
Chorus? What's good, Beth?
Dave,
Tracy, TK. I just wanted to speak to you.
Feel free, man. Do what you do. Hey, no words. This is that's what it's all about. We got to be about community. And life is. Oh yeah, Tracy. Sorry to hear what's going on, whatever's going on with you. But we're gonna keep you up in prayer, and as well as everyone else. And raising the money for legal fees. We're going to show a little bit about that. God help you, Tracy, and everything that you're going through. Yeah, so Martin G has been an influencer in Chicago. People know him as the crime chaser. That's what he was first known for many years. And, he's somebody who has a long-term history with Jed as well, probably for maybe even as long as I have. And, I know that at one point they were doing a lot of things together, but Martin went on to see the light, and, he's definitely an influencer in his own right as well. And he talks about a lot of liberation pieces, but so Martin no longer mentions Jed.
Jed made sure to keep Martin G's name out his mouth after that video, so he didn't have any reason to mention.
Well, they fought they've had skirmishes at least 2 or 3 times, so maybe at this point it might have even, because what had happened with Jedediah is if you wear him down, you can mentally wear him down, and eventually he's going to go away, and he doesn't have the stamina to do any long-term engagement, so he will eventually stop. And and that's what I know about him.
And that's exactly the reason why. See, I don't mind playing the long game. I could play the long game. And for me, I haven't even gone to, nuclear on this guy yet. So,
well, I'd love to see it. Let's watch
and
some.
you see him already.
Oh, okay. So I just saw somebody else. So hold on. I'm gonna play that for you. I'm gonna play that segment right now. But I just really want you to know that I love the way that you conducted yourself last night. I thought it was great, man. And we weighing them down, man. Weighing them down. I see an end game coming real soon. I'm just saying, hey, Miss Grace Levi, welcome to the chat. TK, yeah, and Chorus, hey, how you doing? And our friend Dave, our secret agent, welcome again, everybody. Hey, Grace Levi, if you want to join us, feel free to join us. I'm gonna go
Come on
in, Grace. We need you. We need you, Queen. Listen, we're gonna go ahead and go to that from last night. Your cast from last night. Let's show people what it was, what I'm talking about. And you did a great job, by the way, bro. Hold on 1 second. Here we go.
Personnel. I was also working in SSAs in Chicago.
So y'all know all the stuff I'm saying is factual. Just so y'all know,
changes going on.
He's letting y'all know everything that's coming out of my mouth is based in the truth.
Who were actually police officers and demoted them to security guards. It was a lot of stuff going on during those times. I could talk about this from a lot of different angles because I told y'all that the first time I met Frank Zuccarelli in Thornton Township was because of a freaking cover-up that was taking place, which I was arrested but never convicted. Anybody can be arrested for anything. You go before a court of law, all of the evidence I presented, and if you are guilty, you are then convicted. If you're not convicted and somebody then says that this is what you are, that's called defamation, dumbass. So you literally have people who will read an article with no investigative ability.
I don't even think I was even listening to him. I was like in the comments.
What the truth is.
This is hilarious.
We're going to be clear here. Jedediah has a law enforcement background. Why in the fuck are you addressing this? I'm gonna
Which
tell
is
you
obviously a lie.
Child, because I absolutely can. And now we're gonna advocate for ourselves, and we're gonna advocate for our organization, and we finna basically throw the book at these bitches. That's right. So let me say what I'm saying so that you will get it.
Jesus.
This man is on there saying that I'm sleeping with homeless people, and then he tries to follow it up with allegedly.
This. No, let's go. I'm sorry. I don't like download like you, so.
That's okay. We are definitely going to keep on getting what we need to do, what we need to do. But in that case, I ran a COVID center. I was literally the lead. I worked for Jackson, who was the boss. He was the owner. I was the big security operation.
Let me touch you, big. About 10 times.
You all know that we were able to, with the city of Atlanta and with a nonprofit that's in Atlanta, come up with we came up with a plan so that homeless people who were outside.
Okay, hold on. Let's stop it.
And a home and.
Did you hear anything about this? We came up with a plan for homeless people. Listen, bro, this guy invents stuff on the fly. I never heard anything about him coming up with some kind of plan for homeless people and all of this. I don't even think the few times that he went, I don't even think he stayed in Atlanta any extended amount of time, because when the thing happened with the homeless shelter, I think he was up shortly thereafter. I don't think he stayed. I think he turned up in Texas, but I could be wrong. So
hey, Beth.
Hey, Minion. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I was home quiet today. That's all right.
Welcome, Beth.
Yep.
Welcome, Beth. How are you?
Hi. I'm doing good.
Yeah. So you said you saw Mr. Our fair. I don't even think I want to address him by Jedediah. I want to call him something else.
Doo Brown. I got to sing you the
yeah, you know what? I think we'll stay. I will stick with that. I don't think Lucky Pierre works for me because I don't see nothing lucky or hopeful or anything positive about this guy. So I like Doo Brown myself, but you know, we definitely want to make sure people know who he is. So I think, you know, if we say any other word or any other name, it changes the way. But you said, Beth, you saw him raising money again today. You want to explain? You want to elaborate? I mean, I'm sure we all know what you're talking about, but just for the purpose of the conversation.
All right. Today he had a live and he was raising money for legal fees. I didn't watch it very long because I've had so many mixed feelings about this app. And so, you know, at one point I did support INA, I did support Jedediah Brown. And so that causes a lot of mixed feelings for me. And so sometimes it surfaces, but and they betrayed me and they've talked bad about me. So when I do listen to his live, I can only stand to listen to it for a small amount of time. But I saw that he was raising money for legal fees.
I mean, it's sad that, you know, everything that he does is off the backs of other people, that he just can't. I mean, if you want to sue someone, like, you're not getting legal fees because someone is coming up against you and you need a defense. You're literally getting money so that you can go and file your own lawsuit against somebody.
Right.
And probably just like the lawsuit that you filed against the company in Atlanta that got dismissed with prejudice and you had to pay your own legal fees based on the paperwork. Just like that, it's wasting people's money, people's time, you know, and you're not doing any advocacy work. You're not bringing any cause forward. And you know what I'm saying? This is just, I don't understand why people support it.
Beth, turn your camera back on. You were looking beautiful, please. Because I think don't turn your camera off. We want to see that face of yours now. Listen, you know what? Grace Levi had a point here, and one thing for sure is the lawsuit said he was sleeping. She looked at the lawsuit, and he says the lawsuit says that he was sleeping with homeless people. So she's from Atlanta, so you know.
But he didn't deny it. He did not deny it. He said that I was a monster and I was a bad person because I was making it seem like sleeping with homeless people was a bad thing.
Right.
Like I was making it seem like homeless people are beneath me. No, I think homeless people have more things to be concerned with than, you know, sleeping around with random people. They should probably be trying to look for a permanent place to lay their head, you know, or, you know what I'm saying? So,
go, y'all, keep on talking because I think that it's important that we drill this down. And give me 1 second. I just need to check something out. Please continue going. Minion and Beth, please.
I mean,
I have concerns about Jedediah in Chicago because in the gay community in Chicago, there are some very aggressive gay men who could hurt Jedediah if 2 or 3 got to him at one time. I don't think he understands that danger that he faces.
Yeah, especially when he's strolling out there at night at that park that's full of DL. I mean, this is all alleged because I don't live in Illinois, but based on what I was told, the park that he was protesting at or staying in a tent at is a park that usually has a lot of homosexuals and DL men walking the stroll at night. So
it's probably nearer the lake. It's near Hyde Park.
Mm-hmm. But I mean, and the thing about it is, the crazy thing about it is, when it comes to Jedediah, it's not like it's something that you cannot believe. It's something that's very believable, and that's the problem.
Right.
You know, he's been a pastor for, he says 20 years, or, he started off as a pastor. He's been in advocacy for 20 plus years.
Right.
Or no one should think that it is possible for you to be sleeping around with younger people.
Well, as far as pastoral work, some of that he did very well. So
he does have the gift
really
of gab.
He has a gift of dealing with people very well. So he's not all. He just needs repentance. And in July, I did a live video with Ryan Sawalski, where at that point I suggested that Jedediah needed a reset, and he certainly has needed a reset.
I think, though, a lot of people confuse the ability to be able to have a slick tongue and talk good with a gift from God, because God doesn't need people to be able to talk. People can talk in the lamest terms, and if you're speaking for God, people are going to get the message. I think that when you have someone who can talk in circles like that, it show in that the very nature in how he talks is ungodly.
Well, and I just came back. I'm sorry, y'all. So, but the thing about it is that, and that's the only way that he wins a lot of the people. If he didn't have the level of the art of communication and that level of speaking. So I'm a minister as well. Beth knows that. And for me, you can be the greatest deceiver, but if you're charismatic, it's the same thing that Adolf Hitler had, the charismaticness, the ability to speak, and it envelops people. It brings them in, it sucks them in, and it's hard for people to break that. You don't have to have anything else.
You would have to imagine that every leader that's in power, good or evil, at some level had to have the gift of gab.
Guys.
So just like Trump, he has. I don't see it, but a lot of people like the way that he speaks. It grabs a lot of people emotionally for some reason. So, is that a gift from God?
No. It's not, but one thing he has is that he caters to a certain base, and he's been able to do it to the level to whereas we've never seen before. So, and that's the other thing that the Hitlers of the world and the cult members have. They can be the most flawed people as possible, but because they cater to that segment and they have people to believe in them, they'll ride to the end of the earth with them. Grace Levi said, I really would like to know what happened to the $9,000 he raised for INA property in Harvard. Oh, yeah. What happened with that, man?
That's a good question. Where'd that money go?
Well, first off, y'all, he do have a car note that's probably a $2,000 because that credit is, I know, out of this world bad. And prove me wrong by showing us your credit report, Jedediah. But in my book, in my opinion, he's probably paying about $2,000 for that car note. He's probably paying about $700 for the insurance. So he got bills.
TK said Jed be on 79th and Halstead. If you know 75, if you're from Chicago, 75. That's South Side. It's not the best areas. Lama blasphemy. Tracy, right. He was not a good pastor. Here's the thing about the pastor thing. So him and his mom had a church on 70, it's in South Shore, the area that we call South Shore, right off of 71st Street. And they used to rent, it was a hall that they used to rent. If you go back and look at a lot of old videos, basically their church service turned into a lot of disco. They literally would stop service and they would start playing house music and dancing to house music.
Oh, wow.
What does that tell you? And you would see that in videos. I'm trying to tell you. Go back and find it because I am not lying. Who plays house music in church service? No, literally, I'm giving you a lot of this long term because people, when he says a lot of things, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know what it was, and
he figured the recipe out a long time ago. He know how to grift people. He knows what gets people going.
ingredient that he perfected, and he re-perfects it every time. He perfected it with the freedom fighters. And, this is the freedom fighters MO from 10 years ago that he changed and made IMA, but it's 2.0. And Grace said, right, me, and I agree. Listen, I'm going to play a little bit more of your videos. There are certain points that I should play because I think I just want to play a little bit more. Is there any point? You really don't even want me to play it at all, do you?
I know, right?
Let's just let it roll because I want to get to the point of the lawsuit and where I'm at with it, and then maybe some of the other lawsuits.
Background. Why in the fuck are you addressing this? I'm going to tell you in a second, God's child, because I absolutely can. And now we're going to advocate for ourselves, and we're going to advocate for our organization, and we're going to basically throw the book at these bitches. That's right. So let me say what I'm saying so that you will get it. This man is on there saying that I'm sleeping with homeless people. And then he tries to follow it up with a legend.
Are you not?
That's okay. We are definitely going
Are you not?
The court said it was. The lawsuit said it.
But in
Did
that
you
case,
not?
I ran a COVID center. I was literally the lead.
That doesn't say that you did not sleep with that homeless man.
Okay, we got to talk about lies and grifts. It's the LNG. Because, now he's saying he was the lead. He ran the COVID center. That's not what the thing said. The thing said he worked as a security guard, and that's what the report said. So now you're the lead of the damn COVID center. Okay, whatever, bro.
I was the
big.
I was the
hold on, look.
The entire security operation.
Hold on. No, wait a minute.
Security operation.
Wait a minute. Did you see he needed to think about that? I was the hold on. Let's go back and play that. I gotta get these things downloaded.
It says that this is what you are. That's called defamation done. So that y'all can get the actual narrative. Was because of
I missed it, damn it.
Cover-up that was taking place, which I was arrested but never convicted. Anybody could be arrested for anything. You go before a court of law, all of the evidence
Tracy said, I love the tomatoes,
guilty,
I love the tomatoes.
You are then convicted. If you're not convicted and somebody then says that this is what you are, that's called
Andrew Holmes
defamation.
never even was arrested.
If you're not convicted, that might have meant that you did a plea deal in order to get out of there. So there's so many variables, and we really don't know unless we were in the courtroom. We can read the transcripts, but I mean, he can drill this thing down and try to psychologically swap it out for what it is. But the facts are the facts, and the thing is, to your point last night.
Did you sleep with the homeless man?
And how many times has this happened? How many times have we heard likely scenarios of this play out time and time again, including the scenario? And I don't like talking about this one, y'all. How I was going there? See, you and I think alike.
Yeah.
And I don't like even talking about it because even with him.
It's what happened. It is an allegation that is really out there about him. I don't have no qualms with saying what facts are really out there.
Well, you know what his cousin said.
The mom of the child.
Mm-hmm.
Not no random person out here in these streets.
Oh, and by the way, it wasn't his nephew. It's actually his cousin. It was his cousin's Asia's son. So that's actually who it is. But he literally has said so many different versions of that. And her consistency is that the child was murdered is what she said. Now, what that means,
because she think he didn't want the information to be released or something.
That's what she's consistently saying. Now, I don't press her about it. I mean, she's somebody who I'm in contact with. You know that very well, Minion, but I don't press her about it because, again, I don't like those types of things. And, I think that just out of respect for the child and what the child was all about, if it were me.
It would definitely have to have some type of way to even what's the word they call it? I can't think of the legal word, but there has to be
it's discovery.
Right. So you can at least see if there's any
More
evidence that
information.
kind of right.
Yeah.
Well, here's my thing, from what I know. So that's one of the things that brought me and Asia together is that when things shortly after there happened, I started sharing that video. And she made 2 videos, but the second video was the one that I shared because the other one was outside at night and it wasn't clear. So the second video is what I shared, and that's when we came together. My thing about it is that, if he's not even, he definitely did a lot of things like even Griffin raised money, and he says he raised money for the funeral, but he did not raise money for the funeral. He took the money and he used it saying that this was his son. And we know that, I know that for a fact because we saw the GoFundMe. So, and literally, I think one was $7,400. The other one, I can't remember. I might have been to the tune of $5,000, but Asia can probably say it better. But I do remember the one that was just over $7,000. And keep in mind, around the same time he was running for a political office, surely there he was running and he raised money for that as well. And there was one thing to whereas around that time or shortly thereafter, he raised like $54,000 in GoFundMe. So my thing is,
yeah, I feel like he definitely know how to grift. He has mastered the art of grifting people out of their money.
Yeah.
There's a pattern that he raises money, but he doesn't properly use it. There's a pattern.
Right. Exactly. Exactly.
Hey Van. Let's see. What does it say? Very diabolical to change an accident to unaliving to raising fun. Well, and again, like Minion just said, this is a perfected thing for him. So he's perfected it more than he ever has. And that's really why he's so willing to go hard in the paint at this point, is because he's done a level of perfection with it. So my thing is that, I'm going to go, Minion, I'm going to go to his live from the other night, just to kind of, just to illustrate a point. No, you know what? I'll stay on your live because I don't want the feed to go down. Let's stay on your live. Hold on.
Have people who
Let me go to the point of the lawsuit because I wanted to address that, and then I wanted to address the path ahead.
We have got to the point where literally anybody can build a fully working app without knowing how to code.
Man, that's how many
make this a pattern.
What are you saying?
I said that's a lot of ads in one video.
I don't know why I get so many. I probably because I skip through ads, and if you do the analytics shows, and then they log you down with more the next time.
Did you go look at the dumbasses live and give him a view for the day?
They so stupid.
So
what does this say?
Jedediah opened his personal home to give people a place to stay. What did they do? They just further discounted their own fucking rhetoric.
Joint.
Because to allow somebody to come in your home,
meaning you
where
can't
you
bring
lay
the shit
your
back.
head, where your personal possessions
You
are,
can't even
and give
bring the
them
shit back to
refuge
court.
with no connection to you. Got to be a person that got somewhat of a good heart. And damn, what kind of house you got, or what kind of life are you living where you can keep on?
If you homeless, you don't think people gonna live in your house? You can have an efficiency
that matters
and house 5 people.
Well, here's the thing, I do know for a fact that, there was one point where Jedediah was, I believe that what's happening here is he's living in homeless shelters, or he's living in kind of like hostels type situations. And I think that that's literally what he's doing. And I think that that's what's giving him this level of exposure. But he's also working in these areas, and I know that for a fact, because even when 10 years ago he was working for a security company, and anybody can pull us up. He literally was going around with this gun, this badge, and he got arrested for impersonating a police officer. So that's one of the charges. If you guys ever go through his I think he might have gotten it expunged, but he was arrested for impersonation of a police officer at one point. So again, now we see he's working with the DOJ is what the claim is. And I know that Grace has talked a little bit about it. We've heard these things, these rumblings of it in the past. Lady Luck, I believe, had mentioned it. I think maybe it's been in conversations, Minion, but we can see to whereas now you're not just a security guard or impersonating a police officer, but now you're actually working with the DOJ. So you see the point of how you see an escalation now. You're working with the DOJ, so that gives you a level. And now you're not only just somebody who's a officer or wannabe officer, but now you're a total investigator. So you get my point. You can see where it's expanding and growing with time.
Mm-hmm.
Grace said, "Oh my God, if somebody sends to me, said I would send it to the IRS." Manipulating the homeless. I want to get to that lawsuit. Somebody, they said they love the tomatoes. Well, I'm pulling that up. What is the tomato thing? What was that all about? You throwing tomatoes at them? Is that what that is?
I just have this thing where if you put in emojis into my chat, the emoji will pop up on the screen. So whenever he comes on the thing, I always put tomatoes on there.
Rotten tomatoes. You throwing tomatoes at them? Is that what it is? Oh,
so
okay, I got you.
To throw tomatoes. So.
Okay. So the SUV, Tracy's one thing that Tracy said. So here's the thing, you guys. If you guys want to look this up now, to our research, Jedediah's father was living in Texas. I believe he recently passed, and he had a company that used a fleet company, and they use vehicles. So if you see his vehicles, and Beth will attest to it, all his vehicles have Texas license plates. So not only does
he has Texas on his plate,
and
Texas on his plate,
right, and not only does it have Texas, not only does he have that Expedition, or was it? It's a Yukon, GMC Yukon. It's a 2020. No, it's a Yukon. It's a 2024 Yukon. And GMC Yukon. But he also has a Jaguar, black Jaguar. Remember that black Jaguar?
He gave the Jaguar to Sheila Ashley.
Okay. So, there is something. They're getting it out of Texas for a reason, but we haven't figured out why. Hold on one second, Minion, and you know what? Hang in there as long as you can. If you have to, I don't want to hold you down, but man, we love you, brother, and I love what you did.
But that ain't
let me move this forward,
most irritated with this group of individuals, and the B-Knots is all of them, because anytime I respond, these bitch ass motherfuckers start crying distress, emotional distress.
Have y'all ever heard me cry?
Have y'all ever heard me cry? Lawsuit. They the B-Knots.
Do your best.
All in cahoots working.
Bro, he literally said I was crying that night that I got attacked, and he literally said I was crying and everything. Listen, I was mortally wounded with a fractured eye socket and a dislocated finger. I thought it was broke as well. Did you see me? You saw me walking around, Beth. Now, was I crying?
No, you were like.
You still had adrenaline.
But I will say this. I want everyone to hear this. Mm-hmm. Amir, your face was very swollen.
Of course. If somebody kick you in the eye socket 15,000 times, and then you've been hit,
right,
and you've been hit about 15 times before that, you're gonna have a swollen face too.
No, it was very bad, and so for me, I just felt that it was better to yell and say, "Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!" Because I was trying to get his attention anyway that I knew how.
No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
He was very violent. He was very, very bad, and he was just swinging and hitting. That was not a fist fight. It wasn't a fair fight. And they all jumped on top of you, Amir. It was really, really wrong.
Yeah, it's a mob action, but they're going to pay for it. I don't want to spend too much time on it because we already know what happened. No. But what I want to do is I want to spend time on the path ahead.
Even though you were really hurt, you were not crying.
No, I wasn't crying. I wasn't screaming and wailing like a girl and all of that. Listen, that's all Jed's lies. Tracy wanted to know what kind of connection did he have to Zuccarelli. He had no connection to Zuccarelli, just so you know. All in the Q. This is a good one, All in the Q. So All in the Q said he got it out of Texas allegedly because there's still a card note on it. And oh, you know what? If you guys can get that information for the company, look, we can. If we see him, we can definitely take care of that ass. So if anybody out there, any of you investigative folks know what company it was, we can make it happen. I'm just trying to say, and the thing is that, I want all the smoke. I want all the smoke. Give it to me. I'm not backing down. Listen, I'm right here. So you know where I am. I'll be in court. I'll be in the community center meetings, and I mean, it's all I'm saying. The last time I saw Jedediah was in the court. It was in the Markham courtroom, District 6. He was by himself, and he ran out of that courtroom so fast. So what does that
Jedediah
take?
don't understand is that he has obviously burned bridges with a lot of different people. There are a lot of reports out there. There are a lot of court documents that expose exactly the type of person that Jedediah is, has been. And again, when you're looking at trends, this is what you're seeing.
Right.
And he doesn't understand that as long he thought that he was going to run for Congress, right? He thinks that he's a public figure.
Well, and he knew it. He knew it when
he's an advocate. What that means is that all the information that I find on you, sir, I am free to release. I can say anything that I find on you.
Hey, all in the queue says that she's gonna get on Twitch. But listen, thank you all in the queue. Listen, if y'all got anything, share it with me and share it with me, especially on those vehicles or anything, because what we got to do in the path going forward, and I'm gonna say this for the short amount of time that we're gonna be here on this live stream, not more than 10-15 minutes left. But I will say this, y'all, we need as much investigation information as possible. And we are slowing him down legally, but to your point, Minion, we got to keep exposing this sucker. We got to keep letting people know what it is, because that's the only way that we're gonna slow him down. They wonder who perfected the thing about who actually started putting out the restraining orders. Well, the one who started putting out the restraining orders was the same one who did one for you in the last time 10 years ago. And even though we know that it has the power of a restraining order, it has more power than it did 10 years ago. Let's say this, the potential for you to be jailed is very, very high because of your level of violation. And the guy, you know what, y'all? He has no discipline. He don't know how to shut his mouth. I mean, I personally, and I can't speak for the other folks, but I do know I'm in contact just like Minion and Ryan and everyone else. Look, we got violations that, if the system works like it should, that he will eventually be picked up on. And that's what our hope is. That's what we're hoping.
This man said that he has personally banned me from Chicago, from Harvey. I think he may even said from the state of Illinois.
I know, bro.
He said that when he see me, it ain't no talking. So the good thing about the way that he's positioned me is that I am already going to be in self-defense mode just based off of what he said. So it would be in his best interest to tread it very lightly. I'm not going to tell you what not to do and what not to do. I would just say be very smart in the way that you decide to handle me, because what you have obviously come to realize is that you don't know what the hell I might be coming out with. You don't know what the hell my next move is. So I would tread very lightly.
Well, my thing to Yo and my thing to him, and we gonna go into the next phase. But my thing to everyone involved is that this guy is not Larry Hoover. He's not one of the gang leaders and all of that and all of this tough talk. He's saying that everybody else is a keyboard gangster. He the main keyboard gangster. You feel me?
No, he's not. No, he's not.
So, I mean, how the hell, who is he to try to say, I'm going to ban you from a whole city? And even when we say, go ahead, Beth, what did you say?
He cannot do that. No, he
I mean,
can't.
he don't have, listen, it's not even the fact that he can't do it. He don't have the power to do it. What power does he have?
He doesn't have the pull. He doesn't have the pull at the gang level, because they have levels of leadership that go very high. And so a lot of the things that are done on the street level are directed from higher levels.
Yeah, he's a attractivist, not an activist. Let me get on to this $30,000 lawsuit. So here's my thing.
I've recently come to learn
the reason why it was 30,000 guys is because
I personally like you.
this is discovery for us. So it's first of all, he can't even pay that. So, but I'm not worried about him, but I'm worried about what my thing is discovery, because not only is that this the single lawsuit, but it's going to be at least several more that I know of, and I'm just going to leave it like that. I don't want to say too much of strategy, but my thing is that this is about discovery. So, but I mean, and to be honest with you, he's gonna pay that. If I don't get it from him, I take one. We get one of those vehicles. We get something, but we gonna find a way to get our 30 grand. I'm gonna tell you that. And
well, speaking of 30 grand,
that's too bad. That's just too bad. If you win that lawsuit and you take his vehicle, he can ride a nice little Honda Civic.
Well, they have electric scooters that he can wheel around in.
Well, no, because when you in the federal penitentiary of the county, you don't need you don't need transportation anyway. None do you? There it is.
Oh, but look, y'all. Tracy, speaking of $30,000 and getting money out of him, Tracy just said, "Did y'all see his apparel that he said he gonna come out with everybody's faces on it?"
Yeah, we saw that, but you know what? We let him raise the money, because I just sent him a cease and desist, and that's kind of what I was gonna talk about. That's really what I want to talk about. I want to talk about that cease and desist. So let's talk a little bit about that, guys. So I sent him a cease and desist, and to be honest with you, that cease and desist just is there. And one of the things that he did say, Minion, and we can talk about the apparel, because if somebody has, I'm praying for his sake that he does not send that, but that's gonna get him and Cooking with Frank a defamation lawsuit, and it's coming. So if they want to release that, even though it's characterizations, if you're doing a characterization of something like me and I find it defamatory, then I'm gonna caution them, and I'm
you're not
gonna
use my likeness to make money. You can't do that.
Exactly. And Beth's picture was there. Your picture was there. We saw.
Unless you're gonna pay us a portion of whatever you getting.
Yeah. Conscious was wondering who the other person was. The other person was Kimberly. Is who the other person was with the glasses. So that was Kimberly. And so I don't know. It's just one face that I didn't know. But the thing is, characterization is what it is, and the cease and desist was issued just because of that. Because here's the thing: if you do an infringement, if you do defamation, even if you want to do a characterization, I'm gonna warn Jedediah and Cooker with Frank right now that this is a first and final. It ain't gonna be no more like it, and you will see a $80,000 lawsuit the next day. So go ahead and release it if y'all want to. I wish y'all would. If you're listening, and if anybody is listening, I'm sure he's gonna see this. If he don't, the smartest thing that Jedediah Brown could do, if I was Jedediah, that stand down, cease and desist on this. And right now, you got enough lawsuits and enough legalities on your hands. We're gonna double it up in the days ahead. So you don't need an 80 grand lawsuit coming, and it's gonna come. And I can guarantee you, mark my words, the next day you will have that. And then that's just from me. I mean, if there's anyone else who wants to do separate lawsuits, we can help them put it together on the ground, especially if you're from out of town. So, or we can add you to ours and then put the dollar amount up. So, I mean, we could ask for a higher. But all I'm saying to you guys is that let them think that they're going to continue violating, that he can do whatever he wants to do. And for me, it is what it is. I'm a criminal justice specialist. It's no problem for me to draft a lawsuit and make it stick. I've done it many, many times in the past. So, what do you got to say? What you got to say? What you got to say?
For me, as long as the truth of the matter is that there's nothing that Jedediah can find on me that is going to, I don't have any lawsuits against me. Like, Jed could do his best. I definitely don't have any allegations of me trying to do anything to anybody younger. Not with anybody homeless. I haven't lost any jobs because of a sexual relationship with a homeless person. In fact, I've never lost a job. I've always resigned from all of my positions. Um, I just don't, So for me, you can do your best. I don't have a reason to go after him legally because with the information that I have, you're gonna wish that you didn't even go against me. Period. You're gonna wish that you didn't even know who I was.
So keep that spirit, and Minion, I love you for that. But I'm gonna say keep that door open because here's the thing: in order to stop this guy from what he's doing, that is never an
The
option
door
that should be
isn't
taken off the
closed
table.
because he obviously did come out and openly and blatantly and very clearly threaten me.
Well,
So
definitely, you have a even as we speak in real time right now, you, Beth, Ryan, there's a defamation case that he has Vivian, and no one's really gotten in that level has gotten to it. The only person who's did anything close to it is Shay, and
see,
that's
the
not
thing
it.
about me is if I were to go against him legally, I would stop talking about him altogether because for me, I I don't ever want people to know everything that I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
so I operate a little bit under the radar if I'm going against somebody, if I'm trying to be strategic. So I don't want to have to stop talking about him just yet. You know what I mean? I like
He's giving you too much content.
right. I like being able to
He's giving you a lot to work with.
be as raw
Every time
and
he opens his mouth, he gives you more to work with, right, Pinion?
I feel like there's people working on all fronts. You have people who are able to, like me, be very vocal and expose him for the scumbag piece of shit that he is. Excuse my French, but and then you have people who are working legally behind the scenes to make sure that he's not able to victimize and bully other people in the manner that he's been doing.
Well, and I appreciate you. And Beth knows that we've had these conversations, and she knows, and she chooses to do even what she's doing, kind of more of a stand down and supportive role, and it's what's good for her. But she also knows that the potential to take this thing to a legal level is always there. So, and she knows that it's on the table even as we speak. So, my thing to Jedediah again is that look. I'm going to talk to you directly, bro. You need to stand down. You need to sit down. And I know that Shay pleads with you, guy. He pleads with you and says, hey, I'm warning you. You need to do this. We're not going to even warn you. We're not going to even give you that. Because, again, your foolishness, you're offending people, the things that you have done for me is not just from the standpoint of community, but for me, it's even personal. And some people say, why, the beef between you and Jedediah is personal. Well, goddamn, it's personal. When you have raised money off the death of a murdered child, murdered infant, not one, but multiple ones, the death of murdered babies, even Tanika, even the Kanika Jenkins situation, and the funds that were raised, there's no low that you won't stoop to. So my thing is that hell yeah, it's personal. But what I will do is I'll be part of the shutdown for next time. And Tracy was saying, no, it's not 30K for each defendant. It's 30K total because I can guarantee you he won't have that. And the thing that, whatever Shay's doing, we're going to let Shay do. I appreciate the brother. I watch him. I appreciate his effort. That's his thing, and for me, it's continuously his discipline of keeping the pressure up is good. I like the pressure that a minion you applied last night. I like the fact that Beth is relentless and she won't allow herself to be punked, and she continues speaking her voice.
And so I don't take legal options off the table. It's just that I have decided that's the best option for me. And I applaud what you're doing, Amir, that you are doing legal strategy. And Ryan has done legal strategy, and I stand with you. But I just have chosen not to do that myself. But I do want to see justice, and I'm very dismayed by how Jedediah is acting, and I believe he needs to come into repentance. He's not in repentance. He's not doing well.
Well, the thing is that, you know, here's the thing. How could you independently? I'm gonna say this, y'all, and we gonna get close to ending this like 5 minutes. But how can you independently say that, you know, you are an activist, or he's used the word advocate, which, you know, is really not the right word to begin with. It's actually activist. You know, advocate is from a healthcare standpoint and a medical standpoint, meaning that you're helping people restore them back to health. And, you know, that's why you see historically the word is actually activist, but he don't know that, you know. So anyway, I care less what the two make. The picture was funny. Frank needs a life. Yeah, Grace. I mean, we know he leads a life, but listen, for me, he's not going to continue violating, and he's done enough, and it's time out. And we need that end game. We need that end game, and that's where Minion and folks like that's what we can kick in. Because you know what, I refuse to go into 2026, at least summer, and have to deal with this, because there's so many other more important things to deal with, especially in Chicago alone.
There's so many things that need to be addressed in Chicago.
Hands clean are key in the law. Lima has dirty hooves. Yeah, that's why Tracy, he won't make it, and he won't make it. He's the commander of grifting off of dead bodies. Diabolical. Shh. Yeah,
it's just too much smoke everywhere. You know what I'm saying? Like, there at some point, you know, where is the fire? Because obviously there is one.
Right.
Yeah, so that's why we plan on, I know I do, plan on continue to release the information. Hopefully we can find the fire. And you know what, if we keep releasing information, he's going to basically be the one to erupt. He could have took last night.
Well, I'm trying to tell you. So you guys see the trend, and you guys see, you know, and here's the thing. I thought about it, Beth and Minion and everybody in the chat, Dave and Tracy and Grace and everybody. I thought about it, TK, all in the queue. I mean, if we continue this pressure, there's no way that he's going to be able to keep up this pace. You know, especially now that the lawsuits are actually, he's actively having to go to court for these. There's no way that one single person, and here's the thing, all of these other people who are setting him up, they setting him up for failure. These supposed to be his peeps. But listen, they ain't got to go to court 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week. At one point, 3 weeks ago, he was in court every day. But guess what's going to happen in October going forward? He's going to be in court every damn day. And the thing is, now it's forming actual lawsuits. You know, you have Island C, you have Shay's, you have mine. He's getting ready to get another one from out of Harvey. And then, you know, once they release that merch, what you say, Minion?
Don't forget Flint.
He's got the personal lawsuits against Flint. And oh, by the way, this is one thing I want to share with you guys, because I'm sharing with you guys this information so the investigators can pull us up and bring this forward, and you guys can talk about it. But so the Lento Law Group is the law group that he uses, and this law group was the law group for Flint. It's called LENTO. I'm gonna put it in the chat. And what's happening is they weren't able to help him because they lost their license in Flint. And they're the ones who wrote an opinion, and they tried to help him out with the Flint lawsuit, but they couldn't. And it was dismissed because there was question about the Lento Law Group. So look up the Lento Law Group. I believe that they're in New York, but they also are the ones who tried to invest in Harvey. So they tried to do a quid pro quo and invest in Harvey. And I don't know if you guys have picked up this. Hopefully I'm not stopping any investigation.
Wait, on Flint, I talked to the Flint lady, one of the Flint ladies. I can't say her name. I caught her on the phone, and she had information that the connections of Jedediah were buying properties in Harvey.
Yeah. So the allegation, I'm going to say allegation is that it was the Lentil.
It is allegation.
That it was the Lentil Law Group, and
so the Lentil Law Group was involved.
So this is and this is the reason why he said last night, Minion and Beth. He said that I'm going to try to see, or maybe he said it today, but he was saying I'm going to try to see if they practice in some of these states that he wants them to help them. So that's what it is. And they're supposed to be worldwide, international. They have Puerto Rico. They have. They have just so many different areas outside of the United States. So these are the ones who they feel like is proxy, the Lentil Law Group. Let me see what this is, and then we gonna get out. And there are 27 John Doe defendants that in this Shay case. His people are probably scrambling. Well, the thing is that some of these people, like Detective Rachel, do you know you guys know who Detective Rachel is?
She lives in Atlanta.
She's not she is in Atlanta. She's not a detective. She's a CNA.
No, she's not.
She's a CNA, y'all. So, I mean, she works in the healthcare field. So the thing is that, these people should be scrambling, because the thing is that, if you start paying attention and you really realize. So what you say, Minion?
I said, so they impersonating?
They fronting and stunting, okay? I noticed that what we don't talk about, when he needs attention. That's why I don't talk about him. Yeah, and the thing is he's gonna find a way to make himself the proxy of anything. Conscious has some information on Lentil. Oh, did she? I didn't even know that, Tracy. So see,
if that's who I'm thinking, some white guy who has some allegations of messing with some younger people.
Yeah, he lost and I think that he's losing his law license in some more states, but again, I don't have the exact information, so that's why I was putting it, the Lentil, Lento Law Group. Y'all can pull it up, but he definitely got that case dismissed because he wasn't able to practice law in Flint, and he was trying to do the Flint case for Jedediah and represent him, but the court said, nah, you can't do that. You don't even have a law group. You don't even have a law license in Michigan, so he's hoping that Lentil will be able to pull him out, but listen, Lentil ain't gonna be able to help you, bro. So,
with all of the connections that he's had, you would think that he would have been able to build something a little bit more sustainable in terms of, just having the income and being able to start doing things without having to garner donations from an audience of viewers. You should have been able to build something by not like a company or organization or something. I know that's what he's trying to do now, but even now, it doesn't even seem like it's being built correctly. It seems like a pyramid.
That's a good observation, Minion. That's a good observation.
I believe that I'm gonna put the Lentil Law Group website. I believe that's them. But again, remember, everything is alleged, and I mean, if this is not Jedediah is not their client, then he's not their client. I don't believe that they've been able to help him out anyway, just so you know. But Minion, to your point, I do want to say this to you and Beth and everyone in this stream. My thing is that, we gotta make sure too that we don't do what Jedediah does. We can't exaggerate. We can't, if we are presenting this stuff, we got to present it with facts. We got to be justified. We should not, the people need to know, but they need to know from the standpoint of factual information. So I like what you were sharing. I don't even like to even elaborate, like to say allegedly, because, but at the same, there's a certain point of it that there's been one thing that we know for a fact historically with Jedediah. He's been able to get away unscathed with a lot of the stuff that he's been doing. So he has enjoyed a level of protection, and like say for instance, a lot of his record was erased. So somebody helped him do that. So he does have a layer of something that he knows how to maneuver and get things done. Is it the point of a high level political thing or a high level, like he's claiming this DOJ piece and all this? I don't believe it's that. But what I do believe is that, it's some way that he knows from the standpoint of maneuvering. He knows how to get things done, and he's consistent enough in the areas where he needs to be to where it's helped his case out. Will it help it out in the days forward? No. So that's why we have to be aware. We have to know the way, the path, and the terrain. And,
to your point, it's kind of just like a career criminal. They know the law back like the back of their hands because, they spend so much time in courts and trying to defend their freedom that, you become very well versed in the law.
Oh, and by the way, the Jedediah, and to your yes, sir, and just because Minion he gets well versed, but he also finds proxies because that goes back to that charismatic thing. He finds these proxies who he can use to the greater lesson. I mean, I believe, my opinion, I'm gonna say this: I believe that he used the folks in Dalton. I believe he used the trustees, and they relied on him to be something that he wasn't, and they bought and they were bought and sold by him. So he's not only was this the first time, but this is the second time because they were bought and sold by Tiffany. And it's not the fact that I'm putting them down and saying anything negative about them. There is negative things about them, but I think that when you are in a position of public service, you have to be able to not allow people like this. You have to be able to vet people, if that makes sense, and not let everybody stand in your circle because it's critical. And what Clark is doing is the most unintelligent thing ever because he did what we were waiting on. Yes, the other day, this past week, when at that last meeting, I should say a week and a half ago, he literally confirmed the connection. He confirmed their connection. We were waiting for that.
But just think about it though. It is stupid in the long run. It's definitely not going to be worth it for him.
Yeah.
And I don't think that he really calculated all of that different outcomes of what could happen, the repercussions from what he's doing. But in his mind, I do believe that he said that, you know what? Because, Jed came there initially against him. And so I think he said, you know what, if I can get this man to work for me and say all the shit that I'm not going to say, but I know he will, it'll be a good way to A, keep him off my ass so he's not researching me, and B, he can change the narrative and help me stay in power. So he's really kind of double winning. The only person that's going to be held accountable or liable for the stuff that's happening right now is the person that's committing all of the crimes, which is Jedediah. He's the only person that's going to Hassan's property. He's the only person that has physically assaulted people. He's the only person that's been accused of bullying and vandalizing, destroying public property, just all types of different things that we've seen him do on camera.
And
Clark hasn't been involved in any of that.
Right.
So,
and that's because, and Beth and Minion, that's because Clark is advanced enough. He's smart enough to know that if he does approaches things the way that he approaches them, he has plausible deniability. So he can, he got this guy acting a fool and doing his foolish work. He wanted to clear that. Here's an example. And then we're going to end this. I just want to have one question for you guys after this. But here's an example. I'm going to show you guys. Minion, you did a great thing, and I don't think you even knew. Or maybe you do know, or maybe you haven't broken it down. But you helped me out with one of my lawsuits because we were always trying to say we were always trying to prove that he was working when he was on Myrtle and that Clark had them out there when we got on July 14th. But you know what you did? You got him to say when you were talking to him that he was out there boarding up the houses. Mm-hmm. So that shows that he's working now. It proves. So that's why anytime he talks to you and opens up his damn mouth, you get him to say some critical stuff, bro. I'm proud of you, man. I'm like, man, Ace, you are our superhero.
That is hilarious. And he don't even know it.
The more he opens up his mouth, the more he is liable and he causes. And listen, I've been drafting it, and Beth can tell you, I've been drafting this lawsuit with legal assistance, not legal aid, legal assistance, lawyers we've been drafting this for literally about a month and a half, and we got.
It really, really looks good. I'll have to say that.
Well, you know what?
Really
It's not even. It's not even. You don't even see the motions or anything in there yet, because we just wanted to make sure we got it out there with the appropriate timing. Washington, y'all know, is it Claris or Charis or Caris? What is it? Let's say Caris. Caris looks right. Caris. Caris, just keep doing what you're doing. Come on the streams. Come on my stream. Come on LNC. Come on, Grace Levi's. Just go through the streams and keep sharing the information. That's what you can do. Minions, Minion puts out a lot of information, and I'm like, and I'm glad. And you do like me, Minion. You don't want to give all of your time and all of your content to Jedediah because he's just not worth it, right? He's not,
Well, Dave Bryson brings a lot to the table too.
Dave, I just saw a comment from Dave, which, where's that comment at? See, that's why I need somebody working this board, Tracy said he's the king of self-snitching.
Status quo, on the queue.
Dave said something which I like. The trustees did not need that activist to get Tiffany out of it. No, they didn't need that, but they thought that they needed him. But I can guarantee you, had he not even intervened, they would have gotten the end result. She would have been voted out of office. Correct me if I'm wrong, y'all.
She would have been voted out of office, but it was a bad situation. She wasn't letting us into meetings.
Right.
It was terrible.
So here's the thing, and I'm gonna ask y'all this one last question, then we're gonna end it. Kamal has a lawsuit. Yes, Kamal has a lawsuit. Here's the lawsuits, and I want y'all to think about this while I'm drilling down the lawsuits, because I want to respond to it as well. What do y'all think about the way the path and what has to happen next? I want y'all to answer this, and let me just drill down the lawsuit. So we have we need to put this on a one sheet too. I think I'm gonna put it on a one sheet or graphic so everybody can know the information. That's what I'm gonna do. So he has October 16th, I believe. He has Flint. It's either the 15th or the 16th. He has Flint again. He had on October 2nd, myself and his son will be in court in Markham Courthouse. And then the 31st as well. He's trying to get out of that. So that's why he's filed a motion to dismiss on October 2nd. He's trying to get out of both hearings. November 6th, we have the first for the lawsuit on the civil litigation, the $30,000 litigation against Jedediah and Raheem Sharps. That's mine. And then, do you know when Shay's lawsuit is supposed to be heard? This next one, was there a date on that, y'all?
I don't
November
recall.
6th, I think I heard. So.
Nope. Okay, we'll put that on the one sheet. Grace Levi said, I did notice that when we don't talk about him, he needs. Yeah, I'm sorry, we already showed that. I'm sorry, I was just going back making sure we got everything. He's the king of self-snitching. So look, y'all, what do y'all think the way the path and the train is ahead? What's up? What do y'all think?
Actually, I think a lot of things are happening organically because obviously we don't communicate in a way where we're trying to collaborate to get this information out. It's actually people just putting the information out, people doing lives. We're not coordinating with each other. It's just people who he's created enemies with, and they're putting the information out. So I think that what's going to happen is what's supposed to happen. Nothing needs to change. Nothing needs to be planned out. God's will is going to be done. Like I say, I tell everybody, Tiffany Henry got away with a lot of stuff before she was able, to be reined in and then stopped. So a lot of people thought that, she wasn't going to be able to get stopped. So same deal, same situation with Jedediah,
Yeah.
He's very confident right now. He's very cocky. He thinks that everybody's supporting him.
Well, are you noticing though the slow dismantling? I mean, you can see the desperateness, you can see the extremity, you can see the change, and the way that he communicates. You can see it. Have you noticed that trend?
That's why I say we should just continue doing exactly what we're doing right now.
Mm-hmm.
We just keep doing things step by step, and, processing all the lawsuits the way that you've been doing them.
And we can all collaborate at some point. But I don't think that, I think that the way it's happening right now is the best way, because like every day I wake up, I'm finding somebody else that went against Jedediah. It's like, okay, so maybe these people that are supporting him will finally wake up. It can't be everybody else. At some point, you got to start saying, okay, well, if everybody's going against me, maybe I do need to do some inward looking.
Well, I don't. You keep hope alive on the inward looking. I'm gonna keep hope alive on the inward looking to get him inside of a jail cell. That's the inward looking. He need to be looking out from a jail cell from the inside. That's the inward looking that I didn't see.
Hey, I don't not see that happening. So like I said, just keep doing what we're doing, and I think the chips are gonna fall where they're supposed to.
Last comments, y'all. No dates for Viv. No dates for Shay yet. Viv has that. We'll make sure that gets out there. Keep reporting him and calling him out. He does need some. Yeah, he needs something. We will pray for him to get the Lord in his life. That's what we're gonna pray for.
He needs the Lord bad.
Yeah, that's what he needs, Beth. Jed ain't gonna walk out of none of those courts. Hey, TK, we pray for that the case, right? God willing. Yeah. TK said God willing, and then Karis is panicking, and we believe that Karis, and yes sir, he is breaking down. We just got to keep telling the truth. It's way too much at this point. And then Tracy said, I agree with Minion. Listen, y'all, let's just keep doing what we doing. And Karis said, I believe that the 29th is Vivian. So yeah, I'll put a one sheet out with those cases, and then he's gonna say we collude. And listen, as long as we keeping the information out there, he can say whatever he want to say, but we want this op to disappear, because again, it's more serious things going on. I'm gonna leave y'all with this, and here's the quote. Here's the motivational quote. And Minion, y'all, share Minion's post, share his YouTube from the other day. It's still worthy of watching. If y'all have not followed his stream, follow his stream. Minion the God. It's not Minion with
it's Minion with opinion, but currently right now, temporarily, it's Minion the God.
Okay, well, I just shared that, and let me pull that up so people can see it out there. Minion the God. And Minion, just coordinate with us, if you feel like you're going to come into town. I haven't had that conversation with you, but, I definitely would want to give you some input, and we can have a strategic conversation, if you want. But that's, I'm going to just throw that out there. Y'all, the way the path in the terrain is, let's just, like everybody said, the bottom line is we got to keep the pressure up. And we got to keep that communication out there, like Karis was asking. Let the people know what it is, and keep speaking truth to power, because we are not going to get this guy out unless we keep letting the people know. Because there's people still out there who believe in that leadership, because they don't really know. They may not know what leadership is, or maybe because, they've been deceived. I mean, it always exists. Thank you, Dave, for, thank you, Dave, and everybody. Listen, only when you're courageous enough to confront look, it's my quote. Let me do this right, y'all. This is your fault, man. You got me messing up my quote. You should be ashamed of yourself. Hold on, let me take y'all out. Only when we're courageous enough to confront our deepest fears and uncertainties when we unlock the boundless potential of our inner strength. That's me, y'all. It's not ChatGPT. It's me. That's my quote. So now, there it is.
Oh.
Hey, look, I'm trying to do the Jerry. Hey, I'm trying to do the Jerry Springer thing. Remember how he used to end his shows real cool with these cool quotes and all that? Hey,
Yes. Great quote. Great quote.
Hey, y'all, listen, I'm proud of you, Minion. I'm proud of you guys, Beth. And, maybe we should find a way to do at least a once a month thing or something like that, just to kind of keep things. Or, so maybe we could think about it, but we'll talk about it, at a certain point over the course of the next week or so. All right, y'all. All right. Hey, be cool. Thank y'all again.
Cars, Tracy, Dave.
Hey, Tracy,
Bye,
TK, Dave, Grace, Clarice, everybody.
All in the queue.
All in the
you
queue.
guys.
Let me see who else we got. Yeah, listen, I hate leaving anybody out. If anybody feel left out, let us know. Send us an email if there's any questions. Amir Shakur speaks at gmail.com, and I shared minions. Follow our pages, like our streams, follow our channels, and let's just keep this information going. Peace, y'all.
Peace.